Alright, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do this intro real quick before I started to touch the yarn. You're doing this whole YouTube video thing, you're doing 6 different projects at the same time. You have to record the intro, otherwise you use the yarn and then you can't record what you're using. But anyways, real quick, I wanted to do this intro. So today I am working on the Halloween sweater. So this yarn is from Hot Knit Yarn. It is these two. This one is called Haunted House, and this one is Beetlejuice. It's a fingering weight. 463 yards, 100 grams, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, hand wash cold, lay flat to dry. So I've already used some of her yarn before. It works up amazingly. And I needed to wind this because I need to use this. So that's why I wanted to record this. Check this out. This is a beautiful purple undertoned with grays and blacks. Ugh, nice. This is going to break up this color, because this color is very, very powerful. Check that out. Oh my god. This is what it looks like in a ball. And I already frogged this like 3 times because I'm testing certain things out. Check that out. Look how that's working up. That looks like a comic book, right? So this is a little swatch for you. It will be a combination between half double, double, and window pane. Hopefully it's not too windy and you can hear me. But anyways, I am here getting an oil change for the car, meaning I have some time free on my hands. So I'm gonna work. That is the plan for today, to see how far I can get on the sweater or on the shirt with a collar. That is the plan for today, to see how far I can get on the sweater or on the shirt with a collar. All right, so I found a nice and relaxed spot next to Starbucks while I wait for my phone call. I'm nice and isolated, so no one should be bothering me. This is a iced cold brew with an espresso shot. So that's the plan. I'm gonna finish this first panel and start the second one. Alright, so real quick, because I tend to forget to record while I'm working, I finished the first panel, decreasing here. This is supposed to be panel number 1. And right now I'm working on panel number 2, doing the 3-inch border going along here. So yeah, that's the plan right now. Hopefully it's working out if I did my math correctly. Don't be afraid. Everything is, it's finite. So as long as you measure your left to right and then you're measuring your height, there's only so much that you can make in terms of cloth. So as long as you make that dimension, you should be fine, right? At least that's my mentality when I'm going into something I've never done before. That's a quick update. Let me finish this and then I'll see where we're at in the next update. All right, so just set up the light so you guys can see the true color. I just finished panel number 2. Just half double crochet all the way up. And I love that you can see the 2 variations of how hand-dyed yarn usually goes. It's either in stripes for socks or it goes into this bleeding pattern. So this is Haunted House, worked up. Oh, love it. So anyways, you just work your way up, nice and simple. And when you get here, okay, you just start to decrease. I decreased for 25 rows. And then I just went up until I got my desired length. And for the other side, I didn't want it to be so steep because if you notice in the photo, it's only steep on one side and that's how the collar gets pulled to one direction. So here I'm just going to make it nice and short and work my way up, straight up. And it's the same height as the other one, as this one. It's just a little bit more stretched out. Okay, so that is our 2 panels. If I were to organize them, it would look like this. Can you see it? Do you see it coming together now? You see what I did? Do you see the vision? 2 panels. One side is steep, the other side isn't, so that way when you create the collar, it's gonna pull the design that way in the collar. And I have enough width here for the ribbing, because remember, there's a collar ribbing that goes along the whole width, and then it has this scarf here. So it's gonna attach. What I'm gonna do now is the ribbing, and the other one in Beetlejuice, the other colorway, and then I'm gonna be right back. It's laid out the way it's gonna be created, all right? And now we're gonna work on our ribbing. The way I'm going to do this, I'm going to do half double crochet front posts, so that way it's nice and tight. There's no holes on the garment, because all of this is half double crochet, so you want to keep the tensions the same, because if you do double crochet, it'll be too loose in my opinion. Anyways, so what you're going to do is flip it backwards actually, because you're going to lay the first foundation row of half double crochet, and then when you turn it around, which is the right side up, that's when you're going to start doing the front posts, and you literally repeat that all the way going across. And then when you flip it around, just make sure you're working backwards, and the front posts are always staying front posts. Now what I'm going to do here, since if you can tell, it's a little uneven from one side to the other because of this border. So we need to add 1.5 inches here, so that way the panels are even. What I'm going to do here, actually, it just came to my mind, I'm going to do alternating rows of both yarns. All right. New update. Hope you guys, this is what I was referring to in terms of alternating rows, and this is just to make up room, because remember, we need to even out this panel. Let's do that. I'm going to add black to the sides, and then if I update again, it'll be because I did the back panel. So I'll just do the back panel, which would be all half double crochet, and in the back I'm going to be doing same effect here, but a little bit more clustered in the black, so that way it looks more. You know how they do this in knitted sweaters when they do these types of rows? I'm going to do that, but in the back. Solid in the front, wacky in the back. So you add these sections here. And this is going to be the part that's laying over your traps. So, because remember, your body's like this. It's 3D. So you're not actually flat. So that's going to go over your traps. And you can use this to make up for the height. So if you made this part too short, this is a good way to add a few inches. And the reason why I like to have border around everything is because when you start attaching everything together or adding different panelings, the color just bleeds and seams into each other. I'm gonna make myself a fresh cup of coffee for this morning, and then we're gonna finish this up with the 3 rows of side paneling, and gotta start the back. All right, I believe this is day 4. The project was starting to frustrate me a little bit, but now that I am more confident, just mainly because, you know, when you're unsure of measurements, it stresses you out, but so far, so good. I need a tiny mannequin, but look, this is how it's coming out. Pretty cool, huh? I have attached the top parts, the shoulder parts, and now I need to close up the sides. Sides are closed, and we are doing the collar now. All you do with the collar is, I like to start on the bottom part. Sorry, the yarn is pulling on the garment. Okay, so cool. Check this out. All we're doing here is working on the collar. It's just going upwards from the garment, nice and clean. If you really, really want perfect connectivity, when you connect on the stitches, go into the stitch, like into the yarn. And this is also why it's great to have a border on every single piece, because then it's easier to put the stitches in this, the yarn in the stitches when you connect, to give you that very seamless, clean look. And you're just going up. Right now, I haven't decreased or increased. I'm just working my way up. And the formula here is 2 window pane. 2 of them, double crochet, 2 of them, double crochet. And I'm just repeating that all the way up and alternating color. What is up, everybody? I am coming back from work. I wore my outfit today. I tested it out on a nice sunny mid-humid day. This was perfect. I wasn't sweating too much. I wasn't cold or anything, and it's nice and light and soft. It didn't feel any itchy or anything like that. So in terms of wearing it on a late summer, early fall weather, I'd say this was a very, very successful endeavor. So awesome. Thank you so much for joining me for this awesome video. I know it took me about a few days to be able to complete this garment, but that was just because I just wasn't sure. I was winging it to see how the design was coming together and all the paneling and whatnot. But I think this project came out very, very nice. I am ready for Halloween. These colors are wacky. I still have some yarn left over. So I think what I'm going to do is continue with the collar, just use up the rest of the yarn and see how big I can get it, because then if it's long enough, it can just turn into a hood. But for right now, I'm pretty happy with the results. Keeps me nice and warm, and if not, I can just bend it like this and it's fine. It turns into a collar. But the play on color, guys, so again, this is Beetlejuice, and this exclusive colorway is Haunted House at Haunted Yarns. You can go ahead and find her information in the description box below. Make sure you let her know that Limon sent you her way. And if you can afford this yarn, awesome. And if you can't, that's totally fine. Hopefully I inspired you to find your own colorways in whatever yarn that you want and start getting ready for Halloween season. This is just an idea that you can use if you have any yarn that's that's variegated like this. An easy way to think about color and not being scared is to just find a complementing color, contrasting, to break it apart. So you can do little techniques like this where you add the lines to break up the color, but it still looks part of the whole design. And I did the same thing in the back. So just break up the color, be relaxed, okay? And you're gonna have a great time. So if you do end up making something like this, tag me on Instagram, CPT Limon. And if not, I will see you guys in the next video. I have some awesome new designs, but hopefully you enjoyed design number 3 for fall 2020. Quick review, if you want to create this look, it is just divided into 3 sections: panel 1, panel 2, and the whole back. So the whole back is 1 section, and in the front it's technically 2 panels, which you're connecting with the collar. Just decrease more on one side than the other, keep the lining nice and thick. And for the cowl, for the neck, it's just simple window pane with double crochet alternating. Everything else is just double crochet alternating the colorways, nothing too complicated. And yeah, so with less than 3 stitches, hopefully you guys can create this design.